Good afternoon, everybody. Don't you just love a good road trip? Getting in the car and taking off? Well, on this date in 1960, October 7, the program Route 66 premiered on CBS. And it was not only an ode to being in the car, but also to the old highways of our country, the pre-interstate highways. And Route 66 was one of the famous ones. In 1913, the federal government built the Lincoln Highway, which was the first highway to cross the country. And by 1926, had established the national highway system. And some of its famous highways are Route 1, which goes along the East Coast, Route 2, which goes along the northern border with Canada, except for a little break with Canada, and Route 20, which is the longest highway in the country. And last summer we were in Newport, Oregon, where we took this really cool picture about how far away Boston is. Well, part of Route 66's story goes back to Edward Beale. He was in the Army in the mid-1800s. He was curious about how practical camels would be in the arid southwest of our country. And he was assigned the job of surveying along the 35th line of latitude in Southern California to see if there could be a camel route. And where he surveyed, today you find Interstate 15, a little bit of the old 66, and this cut, which was actually a cut he had done, and that later became one of the parts of Route 66. Route 66 connected and connects Chicago to Los Angeles. And over the years, parts of it have changed. For instance, in the 1950s, they abandoned this big hairpin turn in Oatman, Arizona, because it was too dangerous. Well, in the 1930s, when the Dust Bowl hit the Great Plains, many people from Oklahoma and other areas got on Route 66 and headed to California, hoping to find work in the orchards and the vineyards. And Steinbeck in Grapes of Wrath simply referred to it as Highway 66. Well, when World War II came and California had lots of work in war industries, many people took Route 66 to California looking for work in the war plants. And in Missouri, the Army established Fort Leonard Wood right along Route 66, reminding us of how much military traffic there was there. Well, when World War II ended, America began its love affair with the car, and all kinds of attractions popped up along Route 66, including the Big Texan, which is still there. And if you eat a 72-ounce steak in an hour, you can have it for free. And a lot of mom and pop hotels, motels, these kinds of things grew up along these highways. Well, when Dwight Eisenhower was in the Army in the teens, he and some fellow soldiers decided to cross the country on the Lincoln Highway, which they did in 1919. And it was terrible. Parts of it were just animal paths. And this, combined with Eisenhower's experience in Europe, where he saw the Autobahn, pictured here, built during the Nazi era, convinced him when he became president that we needed a better highway system. And the interstate highway system is known as the Eisenhower system. Route 66 and other highways like it were abandoned or absorbed by the interstates. The movie Cars is really about this. And today the Route 66 lives on. You can bicycle it. Parts of it are preserved in various states by historic associations. Well, on our date, in 1960, on October 7, this program premiered on CBS, Route 66. But it wasn't really about Route 66 as much as it was about young men in a car, a very cool Corvette, each week learning something new about themselves. So Route 66 became a metaphor for searching, for finding out about yourself. And that was a big theme of the 1960s, wasn't it? So whether you've been on an interstate, sitting in traffic or zipping along, or you've been on a local highway somewhere enjoying rural America, I think we'd all agree that we love our cars and we love a good road trip. And the program Route 66 captured a little bit of that in the early 1960s.